Welcome to the latest episode of Claw's Corner. Today's guest is an actress. Her credits include the plays Barbecue, Stranger Still, School for Manners, Diary of Anne Frank, and Calendar Girls. Her film work includes American Halloween 4, Publicist League, Overdue, and Wanderers Welcome. Her latest play, Sordid Lives, will begin on March 13th through the 22nd at the Connecticut Theater Company, New Britain, Connecticut. So without further ado, please welcome the extremely talented Lisa Weingard Bynes to the Claw's Corner. Lisa, how the hell are you?
Great, Rich. Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you on the show. For people,
I'm actually after that intro, we should just be done because that's it.
I know.
Like you said it all.
I think I pretty much summed it all up. Well, all right. Well, thank you very much. That was the latest episode of the Claw's Corner. I want to talk about, well, we're going to get into something because you and I did some acting together. I want to talk about that. But first, I'm curious because I just love the title of this. Your latest one that comes out on March 13th, Sordid Lives. What's that about?
So that is it's actually an older play. It takes place in the 90s.
Ooh.
And it's about a dysfunctional family who loses the matriarch of the family. And so it, like all the craziness that happens afterwards is what the play is all about.
And who do you play?
Really funny. I play the sister of the dead woman.
The sister of the dead woman. All right. I like it. So do you have a lot of lines?
I do.
All right.
So I do.
This is
like 3 big monologues.
3 what?
Big monologues.
Oof. All right. So question for you. What is your secret to memorizing lines? When I was in bands, I remember like I used to take an hour-long break, and I used to just walk up and down the road for like, I'd eat for like 10 minutes and walk up and down the road just going over the lines over and over again, until finally, so I interviewed somebody that was on a cruise ship, and he had to memorize all, and he was telling me like, just write down every first letter of every word, and that worked for him. I tried it a little bit. I said, nah, I'm not even going to bother with that because it just was more confusing. So for you, what's your secret?
No secret. I just I do a lot of what you said. I go over and over and over it, but at the same time I will chunk it into like little blocks.
Yeah.
So like I'll go back. So if I'll go through 2 lines, then I'll go back and start it again. Then I'll go through 3 lines or 4 lines and then go back and start it again. So like, and then if I'm making mistakes the whole way through, then I go back and start it again.
Mm-hmm. So how long does it, all right, let's talk about this one in particular. For Sordid Lives, how long did it take you to get this 100%?
We just went off book on Wednesday, actually Thursday. So I know it from then. Auditions were in January. Yeah. So we've had January and like we've had about a month or so to learn all the lines.
Okay. And for auditioning, because I know some people said, I mean, it might be different for plays. I want to talk about the difference between film and plays. But for this one, was it an in-person audition or was it through video? Did you have to send them a video?
No, it was an in-person audition.
Yeah.
Which are great.
Yeah, no, let me interrupt you. I wanted to say that I would prefer that. I would rather be in person and just get the reaction instead of just like making a video and just sending it. I don't know. I like, it's sort of like how like when they were everything was through Zoom. Actually, it was bands. They were doing concerts through Zoom during COVID. It's like you can't. I don't know. You need like that feedback, just like going back and forth. Yeah. So, have you ever had to do an audition with a video?
No, I haven't, but I've done like sort of auditions, like an application to Wheel of Fortune.
Oh,
and
wait, you cannot just say that and then go on to the next up. You got to stop right there. So is this during the Alex Trebek heyday?
No, this was
Oh
not
no, Wheel
that
of
long
Fortune. Wheel of,
ago.
not that Pat Sajak. I mean, sorry.
No,
Wait,
this
wait.
is Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, I'm just kidding. That guy is everywhere. He's so oversaturated. First of all, he takes over the Casey Kasem show. Then he takes over the Rick D show. Then he takes over American Idol. I mean, just give somebody else a job.
And the Dick Clark show, don't forget about that.
Yes, the biggest one. Yeah, rocking New Year's Eve. So there's got to
Yeah.
be somebody else that can do these jobs. Me. If anybody's watching, I could definitely do that.
And
I could
Rich
count
Steer,
from.
ladies and gentlemen.
But let me practice on. Here's my audition. 10,
Okay.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everybody! Yeah! Okay. I think I could do it. I'm good.
Yeah, your countdown was a little slow, but
Well, I like to keep the suspense. Like, what's going to be next? Is it going to be 7? Is it going to be 6? Who knows? All right. So wait. So it was Wheel of Fortune, you said, or was it Jeopardy?
Wheel of
Wheel of
Fortune.
Fortune. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. So, and did you? So you did a video for that, sent it to whatever affiliate,
ABC.
ABC, and how did that go?
I never heard back from them, so I guess it didn't go that well.
The only thing is, like with that show, like all you really do is like spin a wheel and just like pick letters. So it's not like you really need to like Jeopardy. You have to have some kind of
No,
intelligence and know a lot of something about everything, or a little bit of something
yeah,
about everything. So with this show, I mean, I can't imagine why you wouldn't get picked. I mean, look, besides the fact that there's 18,000 other people applying for it.
right. And if you notice, which I have, that the show takes place in LA and most of the people are from California who they have on the show.
Oh yeah. Now
Most of the contestants.
my mind just went blank. Who is the one that turns the letters now? The what's her name? She's been on the
Ran
show.
away.
Vanna White, yeah. I was like, she doesn't even turn the letters anymore. All she does is tap it and it turns. So it's like her job. She probably gets paid more than she ever did, and she does less than ever. Which is funny because
Yeah.
I interviewed one of my first interviews was Linda Day George, which she's one of my favorite actresses from the 70s. She did all these great in the 70s, everything was like we're ruining nature and nature gets back at us. And what she was in a movie called oh my god, it was a movie with Leslie Nielsen about animals and where they just took revenge. It's hilarious, but she somehow I think is her Vanna White's aunt. She's the one that got her into acting and helped her get that show. Day of the Animals. Day of the
Huh?
Animals is the movie. Yeah, so you gotta check it out. It's hilarious. I love Leslie Nielsen he's playing a serious role,
He's
but
the
he's just
best.
always hilarious no matter what he does.
Yeah, he is the best.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I interviewed her. We talked about Vanna for a while. She always wanted to get into the showbiz and she sort of helped her into it. But yeah, she's been doing that show for what, at least 40 years, I think.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Wow.
It's
So
crazy.
have
Yeah.
you have you ever so you've done, as I mentioned, you've done a lot of plays. Have you ever done any television work?
You knew that I was gonna have to mention something that I did when I was 15, huh?
Oh, we already have that plan. We're gonna be talking about that. But before we talk about that, sort of like the countdown, I want to keep the audience in suspense. So we'll talk about that in a little
So,
while.
no, I have not done any television work. No. And I haven't done any real film, like watch film on Netflix or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
now, I mean, I want your opinion on this, if it's good or bad. I think I miss the days of just seeing movies in a theater. I still see movies in the theater all the time. I think that like we're oversaturated with all these streaming services, and I am being pompous when I say this. When I see a movie like on Netflix or some of the other ones, Paramount Plus, hate to say it, sometimes I don't even think of it as a real movie, which is bad because I'm probably missing out on a lot. But like, sometimes I see these, like there's a movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and I watch it, like it's really good, but I just because Spielberg made a great comment. He goes, I don't think that these movies should be up for Best Picture because he goes, it's basically a TV movie. What's your opinion on that? for
Yeah,
the streaming
I
movies.
agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I think that, I mean, the whole genre has changed completely
Yeah,
too. So, I mean, it's not at all what it used to be. And now it's all streaming stuff. Like
yeah,
that just seems to be it. People don't want to go out anymore. It feels like.
yeah.
But I love the movies. I love going to the theater. I love that whole experience.
Oh yeah, I mean you get the surround sound, the big screen, the big bucket of popcorn, the large soda. To me, that's like seeing a film. And and I could give you a perfect example. There's a movie called Valley of the Dolls from the '70s, and
Yeah.
I brought a friend to see it, and she said, "You know what? If I didn't see this in the theater, I would probably have it on TV, and I would completely lose interest, and I would think it sucks." And I said, she goes, because I saw it in the theater, I had to pay attention. She goes, this is a great fucking movie. That's exactly her words, verbatim. So it's. I think when you're in the theater, you're like, because people get. I mean, we are an ADD nation where, oh wait, the shiny new object, the phone blinks or something happens over there in the other room, and you walk by and you're not paying attention. You walk in, you're like, oh, this movie sucks. And you're like, do you even know what's going on? So I think there's a lot of
Right.
that, and that's why like I do watch streaming movies, but a lot of times I like going to the movies to see new movies, but then when I'm at home, I'll watch like my favorite from the '70s and '80s. Like my favorite era is definitely the '70s. I love that era for movies and
Yeah.
music too.
Me too. Yes,
Because
for sure.
that's we're going
And
to talk about
80s.
your history in the '70s, but not yet though.
Okay.
So all right, so what's your favorite genre? Do you have a favorite genre? Do you like comedy, romance, horror, drama?
To act in,
All right, first to act in, and then just in general.
just in general. To act in, I like comedy because there's something about getting that response from the audience
Yep.
that's just amazing.
No, I agree with you because I
Amazing.
did stand-up comedy and I loved it because you get that instant feedback, good or bad. So you know if
Right.
they hate you, if they know if you. But
Yeah.
people always said this about me, like, Rich, you're like one of the only people that really probably likes it better when people hate you. I said, I really don't care. So when I was doing comedy and people didn't like me, as long as I was getting, I'd rather have people hate me or love me. But the worst, I think, would be apathetic, where just like, hey, what'd you think of Rich? Which one was that? That I think would be the worst. I could care less if people
Yeah.
hate me or because all the different things I've done, like writing the books, doing the stand-up comedy, doing the motivational speaking, doing the radio show. You're always gonna have people that either like it or hate it. Then you can't worry about what people think as long as you know you're doing a good job. And I guess, like, especially with what you're doing, you have to have a thick skin because you're going to get rejection after rejection after rejection. And it doesn't mean you're bad. It just means that maybe you're not right for that part or it's not what they were looking for.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that was why, like, I didn't do acting stuff for 30 years.
30
And
years.
that was why, because 30 years, yeah. Because I was not, I didn't have a thick skin back then. I was young. I was a kid, and I was very insecure, and I didn't understand the business part of it all because they don't teach you that in college.
Hmm.
So, it made it difficult for me. And so I just quit at one point and said, I'm not doing this, and didn't even think about it for 30 years, and then moved here, and suddenly theater was like, I am really itching to do a show. And so I did. Like the first one I auditioned for, I got cast in, which was
Wow.
School for Manner.
All right. Well, then let's talk about Lisa Weingard Bynes, the early years. When did you first catch the acting bug?
Seventh, well, not really seventh grade. Yeah, seventh grade, when my mom and my stepdad, who we will talk about later, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
You
Um
assumed correctly.
I was very, very shy, like you were. I was painfully shy when I was a kid, and they suggested that I took acting for to bring me out of my shell. And it didn't really do that much, but I fell in love with acting because I felt like I could be somebody else that I wasn't.
Mm,
Because then, back then I wasn't too happy with who I was. But I loved the acting thing because I could be anybody and not have to say my own words. I could say somebody else's words, and that was just amazing to me.
yeah. It's funny that you say that because I'm a huge Peter Sellers fan. I think he is just, I mean, I love the Pink Panther movies. I love the movie Being There. I love some of the other stuff he's done. Uh, but he even said one time, I think it was on the Muppet Show. They said, "Just be yourself," and he's like, "I really don't know who that is." He goes, "I can't be myself." And I heard Sid Caesar was the same way. I saw a documentary on Mel Brooks because Mel Brooks wrote for Sid Caesar, and he goes, Sid Caesar's like, "I really don't know how to be me." He goes, "I just love playing characters. I just don't like to show. I don't even really know who I am." So not saying that you're like that, just say I know why you're saying it because like you get to be in the character and you're too shy to like do that yourself. When you're another character, maybe you have a character that's outgoing and then you're outgoing through that character. But
Mhm.
it's funny because
Right,
some of the
exactly.
best actors out there, favorite best comedians out there, they did that because they didn't know any other way. They just somebody wrote all the stuff down and they became whoever that was.
Hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. It's very powerful. Like not especially when you're an insecure person to feel like you can be somebody else just for a little while. I mean, who doesn't want to try and be somebody else for a little while?
I like me. So
Yeah, except for you, Rich.
no, I like. You know what's funny? 'Cause we're talking about this too. I've done some acting, and I did a couple things with you, which were hilarious. The ones I've done, and well, actually, except for Halloween 4, but that's I don't know how. Actually, that was hilarious. It
That
was
was
fun, it was fun filming it, but it's not supposed to be a comedy. But I there were several times I was supposed to do like actual plays, but I just couldn't. I mean, for me, it was because of my work schedule, and you have to do all this. Like, oh, Rich, 5 times a week you have to be here and this and that. So I just couldn't get the time off. Uh, but I really wouldn't mind. I would love to do that. I think it'd be fun. Have you ever had a moment where in the middle of a monologue or in the middle of a line you just had a brain fart and you're like, "What's my next line?"
I struggle with that all the time. It's I get like it's not even a brain fart. I get a thought in my head that I'm gonna forget the next line, and then I do. And now I have to like retrain myself to, to know what when I'm having issues and try and get through it a different way because that is just not working for me.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. I'm not sure if this happened to you, and because I was talking to Max Gale, who played Wojo Hodes on Barney Miller, and he said that
Oh, yeah.
whenever it happened to him, he goes, the only thing that ever saved him was the other actors. Because say he used the example of like he was supposed to, let me go check the refrigerator, and he said he just completely forgot, and then the other actor said, is there anything in the refrigerator? Oh, and then all of a sudden he said that jump started his train of thought and he went right back into character. So have you ever had a moment where you're worried about forgetting the line, you forget the line, and you're staring at the other actor? Did they help you out so you can get through the scene, or did they just let you hang out there to dry?
No, most of the time the other actors are really like helpful and will do that sort of thing just to like give you a little hint what your next line is because I mean the show has to go on.
Oh yeah. Unless you want to do it, I think the only play that would be really good and would be like the Marcel Marceau story. I don't have to say anything.
Yeah, but you like to talk, Rich.
That is very true. Yeah. I would have to say something. All right, so that's a good segue into the different styles of acting, because I've heard people who worked. I'm going to use the example of Robin Williams. They said that like he gets on there, he changes all the lines, and then he's really good at that. But then you get somebody that maybe isn't as good, and they're like going by the script and like I can't feed off it. So for you, have you ever worked with somebody that one couldn't feed off the lines that you made up or in a spot, or vice versa? Like for somebody just came in and started improvising all the time, and you're like, I'm using a script.
I actually haven't had that problem, thank God, because that would drive me crazy. I
I
no.
I think so too. That would drive me crazy too. I think it's fun, like if it's more of like a free type of thing where just go in there and just start doing dialogue and just make it up as you go along. But I mean, if you're like doing a scripted play and they come in and change, it's gonna change the whole dynamic. So that would
Yeah,
drive me crazy.
I mean, it's written a certain way. They're, as being a writer, that they when they write a play, it's very specific,
Hmm.
and the words they use are very specific, especially in Sordid Lives. Like these words are very important, the way that they are written.
Yeah.
And if you change that, you change the whole dynamic of the show.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that show, Sordid Lives, as I said in the intro, it's at the Connecticut Theater Company in New Britain. Is that what they call the hole in the wall now? Like for people that live in the Connecticut area?
No,
Or is that
no,
different?
no. They're two separate
Oh,
theaters,
they are? Okay.
but they're within a mile apart.
Okay. The reason I asked that is because
But yeah,
I live in Connecticut for people that are watching the show that live in Connecticut, and I love all different places like Thompson Opera House, Warner Theater, Bushnell, uh, the Repertory Theater, the Phoenix, all these different places, Seven Angels in Waterbury. But for some reason, I live 20 minutes away from New Britain, not even, and I always forget about that place, hole in the wall. And now I, I don't. I've heard of this place, the Connecticut Theater Group, but I've never been there before. So, is it similar to a lot of the other places I go to? Like Tom Snaphouse almost uses the same cast of characters over and over again. They use same actors, different characters. Do you have like a same group that goes around for the hole in the wall and theater group?
no, not really. I
Okay.
mean, there's every audition I've been to, there's been different people. I mean, every so often you see a few people that you know. Like there are a couple people in this show that I know from other shows that I've done. The more shows you've done, then the more people you know, and the more connections you have.
Yeah.
But I no.
That's what I think a lot of it is about. I mean, you have to be. This is what gets me mad about. I want your opinion on this because I'm so sick of people talking about nepo babies, nepo baby this, nepo baby that. I think maybe that gets their foot in the door, but to stay in that room, you got to be talented. So these people like Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Douglas, and so many other people I can name, maybe their parents got them in that door, but they are so talented. I don't really think there's anything wrong with knowing somebody and helping them get get started, as long as you have the talent to stay there. So, what's your opinion on that?
Right.
Okay, so you and
I
I,
agree with
yeah,
you. Yeah, we're on the same page.
okay,
Yeah, I think that you definitely have to have your own talent, otherwise you can't go anywhere.
hmm,
So it doesn't matter who you know if you don't have any talent.
yeah. I mean, well, I'd love to know who Keanu Reeves knows because or Adam Sandler.
He has talent. You think he's talentless?
Which one? I think both of them are, in my opinion. But that I'm just, you know what, Keanu Reeves, I really don't like that much at all. Adam Sandler, I didn't like in the very beginning with that, but then like when Wedding Singer came out, I said, oh, maybe he's not that bad anymore. But then he started playing it, which is not his fault. He started playing the same character over and over and over again, like the lovable loser who can never catch a break. But you know what's funny?
Yeah,
Years ago, I
yeah,
was in
typecast him.
yeah. Years ago, I was in New York and I saw a movie being filmed. I said, "Oh, what are you filming?" "Oh, we're filming a movie called Little Nicky with Adam Sandler. Do you want to meet him?" I said, "Not at all," and I just walked away. Now I would love to meet him, but I was just, I just so again, I don't know.
We probably like never heard of anybody doing something like that.
I know that's what because there's people,
Only
couple of my friends,
you.
who are big Adam Sandler. So I was like, I can't believe you. Why would you do that? I just did not want to. And I do have to admit though, I'm gonna recant it a little bit. It's the movie Uncut Gems. I don't know if you saw that. It was really good. That was his
No.
first serious role where
Okay.
he was like selling buying gems and and I guess that he stole something and the mafia was after him, but it was like more of a serious role. So he made a comment. He goes, "If I don't win the Oscar for this, the next movie I release is going to be the worst movie I ever made." I said, "Well, what are you going to do? Re-release all your old ones?"
You're terrible.
Send all your hate mail to Rich Sear at
Yeah.
Gmail.
Connecticut.
So who do you all right, so you mentioned that you love comedy. Who growing up, who are
I
some of your
do.
biggest influences?
My biggest influence is Lucille Ball.
Oh
She's
yeah,
always been my, I love her so much. I loved her.
I can see that.
She is just, she is the funniest woman I think on the planet. I really think so.
Hmm.
I don't think anybody now touches her at all.
Well, that brings up another point too, because I think, and somebody else made this point, and I agree with it 1,000%. Back then, we used to have greatness. Now I think we just settle for mediocrity. I will say there are some great ones out
Yeah,
there.
I
And to me,
agree.
Christian Bale is probably, I mean, he becomes whoever he plays. Like he'll gain 80 pounds and you don't even recognize him, or then he'll lose 110 pounds for the machinist. So and Kate Blanchett's another phenomenal actress, and you have some other good ones. But for the most part, Rich Little made the best comment. He goes like this. He goes, back then everybody was like over the top, had these over the top personalities. He goes, how can I imitate an actor today? He goes, what am I gonna do? Imitate Tom Hanks? He sounds like everybody. So it's there's to me there's really no greatness anymore. Even though there are some great movies. Like I think Brad Pitt's another one. I love the fact that Brad Pitt can play a serial killer in California, a leading man in Meet Joe Black, or an action movie like F1. So I think he's another one that, and Leonardo DiCaprio is another one too, because going from What's Eating Gilbert Grape all the way through everything he's done, he's always really good. So there are some good ones out there, but compared to like people
There
like
are.
you mentioned, Lucille Ball, I mean, even going back like the Marx Brothers, I'm going way back even before my time. W.C. Fields, just when people had like over the top personalities and they were just hilarious or just good.
Like Carol Burnett is another
Yes.
one I
Yeah.
think is brilliant. She's so good.
I have to say for me, for like it's not really a sketch kind, but like my favorite TV show of all time right now is Curb Your Enthusiasm. I love that show. Larry David,
I've seen, yeah.
because it's funny because like when Seinfeld was on, I was a fan, but not really that big of a fan. But this is Seinfeld without the censors, and it's hilarious for people that don't know what it is. Check it out; it's on HBO.
Yep, it's a great series.
Because and that show is all improv. He writes a detailed 2 paragraph outline, and then he goes, "All right, so Rich and Lisa are going to be doing this interview. Just go." And then you and I would start talking. That's like the whole show, and they just make it up as they go along.
Oh my God, that would drive me crazy. I can't do that.
Yeah,
That's a special talent. Like improv stuff is
yeah.
definitely special talent.
You know what's funny? For me, I have no problem doing it when I'm not thinking about it. But say if it just happened naturally, I could probably go on for I don't know how long. But if somebody said, "All right, Rich, we're gonna do this and go," that's where I'd be like, uh, uh, uh. So that's it's when I overthink things. I remember like when I was doing comedy, one time I don't even know what happened. I just started going back and forth with this person in the audience. I did a 40-minute set. Other times, if I ever like tried to go into the audience and start picking on people, I wouldn't know what to say because I would be overthinking it. So, yeah, I guess it would have for me. It would have to if I was actually in a show like that, it would be tough because I'd always be thinking like, all right, what am I going to say? It's funny. How am I going to make this good?
Yeah, that's yeah. Comedy's hard, but it's so rewarding.
Oh yeah, yep. So let's talk about the before we get started, like how the Lisa Bynes, the early years. I want to talk about the 48-hour film project and how you became involved with that.
I became involved with Rhea and Matt by doing a play called Calendar Girls, also at Connecticut Theater Company.
Mhm.
And that was like 2 years ago. And um, they just, Rhea had one day just said, "Do you want to do this 48-hour film thing? You'll get to be on film." And I said, "Yeah, of course." So that's how it started. And now I can't get enough of them. I wish there were more now, but we have to wait until June, I guess.
I know, I love that. And for people who are watching, I had Rhea and Matt on maybe 2, 3 months ago, maybe a little bit more. Rhea Martin and Matt Stevens, and I did two of the 48-hour film projects with you, and I got introduced to them because I go to the gym Big Sky, and my trainer who left the gym, but he was doing something. He called me up. He goes, "Rich, I know you love this. I'm filming a movie. Do you want to be a part of it?" I said, "Hell yes." So I went there, and basically I was just going to be killed. But when I was doing it, I made some kind of joke, and the director goes, "Oh my God, that's hilarious. Can you do it again?" So I did the joke, and then I sort of expanded. I did something else. Again, I wasn't thinking. I was just having fun doing it. So they actually expanded my part, made this whole thing for me. And then after it was over, not the trainer who was acting in it, but the cameraman said, "Man, you're hilarious. I got to introduce you to my friends Matt and Rhea." So he introduced me to them. Said he told them, he goes, "You got to work with this guy, Rich. He's great." And the first time I met Matt, Matt's like, "I hear a lot of good things about you. Don't let me down." Like, no pressure at all. And that was one I did without you. I did
Right.
three with them, and I can't remember what that one was called, but the one I did with you was the Publicist League. That was hilarious. Let's talk about that one because what exactly is the premise of that?
What is the premise of that? We were a team of publicists working on a a romantic interlude that shouldn't have happened
What was
between
based on
two
the
of our
Coldplay?
clients.
Yeah, didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say for people who are watching, it was the Coldplay video. We were making fun of that, where the kiss cam and the guy was having an affair, and so that's where we're like two superheroes were caught, and they were no arch enemies, weren't they?
They were arch enemies and they were caught kissing on the kiss cam.
Yeah. So then we were the
And,
Publicist League.
and right.
Yeah,
That blew up the whole Publicist League.
yeah. What I love
We
about
had
the
to find him. Yes.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, what I love about the 48-hour film fest is that for people who don't know, I've talked about this in past shows, is that you have 48 hours to write, produce, direct, act, and edit, put all the music together, and get it. It's usually about like 10 minutes long, but you have like what, at least one line you have to say. You pick a
Yep.
genre, you pick at least one line. You have to have a prop. So there's all these different things you have to put into this one 10-minute film. And I just love how Matt and Ray put everything together. I've worked with them 3 times altogether, and I think that they do amazing work. I'm looking forward to working with them and you again.
Me too. I love working with them, and I've done three with them as well. Overdue was the first one that I did with them, which was about a crazy lady in a library, and
I saw that one. It was
she was
hilarious.
crazy. It was hilarious. It came out so great, I thought. So that was so fun, and that just became like the beginning of like my wanting to do them or wanting to be on film.
Yeah. For me, I did 3 with them, but I also did 2 other ones with some other friends years before, like around COVID time. The one during COVID we did through Zoom, which really, like as I mentioned, like with the bands during COVID, it just really wasn't fun. I like being in person, doing and feeding off the person. So more it's just like to film my part, and then I did another one too. I can't remember what it's called. Like I said, it was 2019, 2020. But when I first did that, I said, I want to do this as many as I can, as long as they have them. So between like that group of friends, Matt and Ray, and hopefully some other people, if they're looking for any actors for a movie, I would love to be in those because it's not hard to
Thank
do.
you.
Yep. So it takes literally like a day of your time, and it's definitely worth it.
It's so worth it. It's so much fun.
And
It's a
then,
lot of work.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I like just acting
Um,
because I get in, they're like, all right, Rich, be here, just say this line. All right, gotta go. And then they have to go home and put everything together, all the 13 hours of footage that they filmed.
and yeah.
Let's talk about then you and I did one. 'Cause a friend of mine does he makes Halloween fan films. So it's the movie Halloween. He's a huge fan of the original John Carpenter, and then I was in Halloween, American Halloween 3, and then you and I were together for American Halloween 4, and we played a married couple. That sort of our fate didn't end up that well. We, I think the movie's been out for a while. We get killed, and I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, that was fun
Yeah, except for it
getting
was
killed.
cold.
That was the first time I've ever been killed,
Oh,
like
really?
on screen or on stage or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually impressed because when he was filming it, I said, "Oh, like, all right, let's go. Boom, we're at." It was sort of like an Ed Wood's type of filming. All right, now that's good enough for me. And I'm like, oh my god! And then when you see it with the music and everything, I said, oh, this actually looks pretty good. And they had the knife in my throat. I said, wow, that looks really, very realistic. I was really impressed. So
That looks so good.
his name is Alex Miller, and it's Rampage 78. I think is his YouTube channel. Check it out. And Alex, if you're watching, Lisa and I want to be in all your movies.
Yes, we do.
So now, the fans have been waiting. All the suspense it's been building and building and building. Who is one person out of everybody that really got you into acting and really helped you get your start?
Well, I wouldn't say helped me get my start, but I would say the reason I went into acting was partially because of him. It was my stepfather, and his name was, he's no longer with us, and his name was Norman Fell. And most of your people, yes, and you will know him from Three's Company. He was Mr. Roper.
Okay. To the side. Yeah, no, all right, yeah. So Mr. Roper, he was your stepdad. How the hell did that happen?
How did he become my stepdad?
Yeah, like where were you living in LA was your mother living in LA at the time? How did she meet him and how did they connect?
She was a nurse and he was a patient.
Ah,
I don't believe this. And she was actually 20 years younger than he. And he really pursued her for a while. And then she finally said yes. And the rest is history. They were married for 16 years, or they were together like 20 something, but they were married for 16.
wow. And so this
And
was during the heyday when he was on Three's Company at the time, right?
yeah, when they were actually married, it wasn't while they were dating, but it was while they got married, he was offered the role.
So wow, so it
And
was even before Three's Company then.
yeah, before Three's Company, just a little bit before, but not much.
Oh, so no wonder why it took her so long to say yes. It's like, who are you? And then like, oh, Three's Company, Norman. Remember me? How are you?
He had done a lot of other things, like,
I know.
The Graduate,
Yeah.
Pins and Needles, and he had, and the worked with Burt Reynolds and all that stuff. So he had done a lot of work before Three's Company, but that is what he's known for,
Yeah.
or
But
he was known for.
did he resent that? Like, because I've heard so many, like, perfect example would be Robert Reed from Brady Bunch. He was such a serious actor, Shakespeare, did all these things, and nobody knew him except for the Brady Bunch. Did Norman Fell have that same attitude where, like, come on, I was in The Graduate. All you're going to worry about is Mr. Roper? Oh, you remember? I mean, is Mr. Roper?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. He wasn't really like a fan guy. He didn't love his fans that much, which was really sad, but he would always feel like he was being interrupted all the time, which of course he was because people loved him and wanted to get his autograph and wanted to meet him. And, my mom was very open to it, but he was not.
Yeah, see, I would love that. Like, I know what people say. Oh, you say it in the very beginning, but I think if I was known for just one thing, I would be the most appreciative star, and like I'd be like, you know what? I'm as soon as I'm done eating, I'll come over there. I would let people know that if I'm at a restaurant or wherever they're trying to say hi, just let me do what I'm doing here, and then I promise before you leave, we'll get a selfie, and because just that one little thing will make their day of a memory of a lifetime, and it takes 2 seconds to do. So I know that I would love. Like I always say, I don't know if they still do things like this, but they have like they used to have those bus tours of the Houses of the Stars. I would love to go on there like incognito with like glasses and a hat and just say, "Oh my God, this guy, he's the worst actor. I used to work with him. He's the piece of shit." Just messing with them like they have no idea that that's really my house. I don't know, just I like messing with people. And I definitely would have fun with it. But some people just was he off camera, was he a social guy? I know you said like with fan wise, but was he more quiet and didn't really like talking to anybody?
Yes, he was very kept to himself,
Yeah.
very much so. Was very much a loner, other than being, with my mom and the family. But he definitely liked his own time, his own space. He had uh like routines that he did every single day. Got up, he had breakfast, he went to the gym, he worked out, he didn't want to be bothered there. He'd come home, he'd get ready for whatever show he had to do and then, go do that. But he just was definitely a loner kind of man,
Did he
I'd
have?
say.
Because I mean, it seems like. I mean, actually, I was going to say, it seems like he had a great sense of humor on the show, but in the show, he was just a grouch. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, so was basically he playing himself on the show?
No, not at all. But I mean, he could be grouchy, definitely,
Yeah.
and he could be a lot like Stanley Roper,
Yeah.
but he was hilarious. I mean, on and off screen,
Yeah.
he was one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. He just was so witty and so quick-witted
Yeah.
and just hysterical and like deadpan. Like
I love
he
deadpan. Yeah.
was just deadpan, like every time.
Yeah.
Very funny man.
And I've read this, and I want you, since you were actually there and you during when this was happening. From what I heard, he did not want to leave Three's Company at all. He loved. He goes, "I'm on a hit show. Why would I want to leave?" And they said, "You know what? If it lasts less than a season, then we'll bring you back." And what happened was like a season and one episode, and they're like, "Nope, sorry."
Right.
And which for me,
It's
I love the later years because I love Don Knotts. I love Priscilla Barnes. Like to me, I thought I, Chrissy was way too stupid. Like after a while, she got on my nerves. But then he said he was happy, Don Knotts, because when Suzanne Summers was sort of like fired from the show, he said he got all her funny lines, which I think that I don't know. I thought I think like some shows when the original cast leaves or main cast members leave, it's never usually the same. For me, it got better. I'm guessing that you probably have a different opinion because you were living with that original cast.
definitely have a different opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely do.
Did you ever have a chance to visit the set?
All the time. My mom would make cake for like the crew and the cast. So she would bake like all day on Friday to and then we would go to the screening or the shootings or whatever it was called.
Hmm.
Like Friday afternoons and we would just sit like in the front row and it was great. I mean, we get to go backstage, of course, and talk to everybody. And, again, I was extremely shy. So I wasn't like asking them a million questions or anything. I was just like, hi.
Who
I
is?
did want I did want to marry John Ritter though
All
when
right, I
I was
think that just
younger.
answered my next question. I said, who is the most approachable? Who is the most friendly? So I'm guessing, in your experience, it was John Ray. And
Yeah.
he just seems like it. I mean, everybody that's ever met him in interviews always said he's the most down to earth, nicest guy. And I have to say, one of the people that says it the most is Henry Winkler. And I had a chance to meet him, and he is one of the nicest people I ever met too. I wish I had a radio show when I met him because I know he would be on it. He was that cool. So I could picture like, and
Yeah.
he was saying like John Ritter was like his best friend, and he was I think backstage or somewhere on this when he was at the other show they were filming. When he died or heard he died. So, but so for you, because I'm so curious. It's a half-hour show. How long does it take to film a half-hour show for a sitcom?
It takes like an hour, I
Huh.
think. I think it only took an hour. It was really not that long.
Oh, okay. And did you see
It's
it?
like, I mean, they knew, the cast knows their lines. They know where, the stage people know which set they're going to, and they're all like lined up, you know. Um, and the sets are like just a portion of a room,
Yeah.
like a couch and maybe a half a coffee table.
Wow. So, all right. So,
you know.
but did Norman and the rest of the cast only have a week to learn all their lines and have their blocking done and everything? So say, your stepdad would get the script on, say, I'm not sure if this is the exact day. He'd get it on a Sunday. Like, all right, well, we're gonna film on Friday. Would it be like that?
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
Wow. See, that's
Yeah, they'd have
impressive.
to do all the blocking and all, everything in a week.
Wow. See, and how many times would they rehearse it before they actually started to film it?
They did it all week long. They rehearsed all week long. So from Monday or Sunday to Friday morning or Thursday like evening, they would rehearse. So
Wow.
I never saw the actual rehearsals. I just saw the actual tapings.
So there was a lot of funny people on that show, and we were talking about this before. Was there a lot of improv, or was it all just by the script and script only? Did like John Ritter and your and Norman Fell like go back and forth and just make? Because Norman Fell was the best with the insults. I love his like as I mentioned before. I love that like he'd do the insult and he'd like do that look in the camera. I love that. So would some of those be from him, or would they all be from the script?
No, there was a mixture of ad-libbing and script
Yeah,
verbatim. Yeah, they did a mixture, especially Norman and John.
yeah.
The ladies weren't quite as funny, but the guys were. So they did, and they would tape it, and there would be whole long sections of stuff that just never made it onto the show. That was just hilarious between Norman and John.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is I just saw a documentary on Robin Williams, and speaking of him, we were talking about him before, and I guess because of him, they started the three cameras because before I guess like most shows were filmed with only two cameras, but he would do so many things that they actually had this guy with a handheld that would run around and make sure they didn't miss anything because he would do all these things like, and Gary Marshall, did you get that? Did you get that? And he's like, no, I missed it, and that's when they said, all right, you just run around and whatever he does, catch it. We'll try to edit it in later. But did all right. So
He was the king.
what was that?
He was the king of improv.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and that's why, especially when his idol Jonathan Winters, when he played the son, they said it was just hours and hours of stuff they couldn't even use.
Sure.
All right, so the question now is, you said John Ritter's great, and I've met you didn't just you were there before Priscilla Barnes. I met her and I met the one who played Jan, Joyce DeWitt. She was a great person too. What was it like with Suzanne Summers during that time? Because you hear all these stories about like her, I'm the star of the show, I want more money than everybody. That they didn't even talk to her for over 20 something years, right before she died. That's when she and John Ritter made up and Joyce DeWitt. So I mean, there was a long feud going on with those three.
Yes, there was quite a bit of feuding going on. A lot of it was Suzanne wanted more money, and she felt like she deserved more money than the rest of the cast. And I don't know why she thought that, because it was an ensemble cast. So basically, it should be for them who were nobodies when they started the show. They should all be on a level playing field.
Yeah. Well, actually,
And
Norman
then
Fell was probably the most known. Like you said, he did all these movies before that, so he probably should have been the one that had the big. What about Audra Lindley? What's her name? Audra Lindsay?
Lindley.
Lindley. That's it. What? Now, was she an actress in movies before Three's Company? Because I've seen her before. Yeah.
Yeah, and she wore a wig in Three's Company, so she looked very, very different without her wig. She had done a lot of stuff. I
Yeah.
remember her doing like a Love Boat, and
Yeah.
I remember anything that Norman said about her. He said he said she would always get like so nervous that when she had to like grab his arm and say Stanley, or whatever, but when she grabbed him, she would grab him so hard. And he would say he bruised her. She bruised him.
So she seems like she was like a fun-loving person. When was that accurate?
Yeah, she was a sweet woman, very, very much so. And Joyce, like you said, was wonderful. I worked with her in Burt Reynolds Theater when I was an apprentice there in 86, 87. And she did a show out there. So I was like, I had to go up to her, my shy little self, and say, "Do you remember? You probably don't remember me, but I'm Norman Fell's daughter."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh yes, I remember you. How are you?" She was great.
Yeah.
She was great.
You know what's funny about her? I can't remember what it was. There was a play in New York. It was an off-Broadway play. The first time I saw it, Eve Plum, who played Jan Brady, hosted it, or was like the star of it. And there was one part they brought people up on stage. So she brought me up on stage. And you got to act the scene with her. I saw it about 3-4 years later. Joyce DeWitt was doing it, and it was what a weird coincidence. She pulled me up on stage for exactly that same part, so I got a chance to do a scene with her. I can't remember what it was. Some love letters. I wish I could remember. This was back in the '90s, but it was hilarious. I just thought it was funny that like both of them looked at me in the audience, and said, I want you up on stage." I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah, of all people, I mean, you would be the perfect one. That's funny.
Yeah. So did you have a chance to interact with Suzanne Summers?
We met her, and saw her every week or whenever we went to the tapings and stuff, and we were all friendly, but she was very phony.
Oh, okay.
She was a phony person. She would pretend like she liked you, but then what behind closed doors was a whole different story.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing was because back then we didn't have things like YouTube, and the paparazzi was around, but it wasn't like it is now, where you could see 24/7 what they're doing. She would say, "Oh, I'm sick. I can't make it onto the set," and then they'd find out she was doing shows in Vegas, and they're like, "I thought no, she hurt her back or something like that." So yeah, there was a lot of things where she was going on. That's why it was so bad, where they had her, and they wouldn't even be in the same studio as her. They're like, she was doing these phone calls that, "Oh, how are you doing, Janet? I miss you," and they're like, it's because they didn't want to be in the same room as her. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot going on. It's sad. I think she ate a little bit of the humble pie when she got Cheese the Sheriff.
But not enough.
I did like Step by Step though. That was a good show. I liked her in that with
That was a
Patrick Duffy.
Yeah.
Now, I want because you saw what the filming was like, and I'm surprised it only took an hour. I thought it was going to take a lot longer. And the reason I'm saying that was because years ago, I was in LA. It was 1999, and we got there around 6:30 in the morning. And I saw this big sign that said "Happy New Year," all confetti. I said, "Wow, what's going on here? This is great." I found out they were filming a movie called Strange Days with Ray Fiennes and Juliette Lewis. It's a really good movie. It's a sci-fi movie. So what I tried to do was, when nobody was looking, I was trying to like sneak onto the set, could be an extra, and all of a sudden I felt this hand in the back of my shoulder and it's like pull me back. But I got a chance to watch it, and that saying "hurry up and wait" was in full effect that day. It's like they would film for maybe like 3 seconds to 5 seconds, say, "Okay, everybody stop, get back into where you were, let's do it again." Was it similar to that, where like how long would they film? Would they film an entire scene, or would they stop after a couple lines?
No, they would film an entire scene.
Wow.
It would be like, yeah, an entire scene, one scene, and then go straight into the next scene. And they didn't have to do it that many times over. I mean, of course they're going to make mistakes and it's going to happen, but they just, my memory of it is just that it went really smoothly and they went from scene to scene.
Yeah.
So,
Are you a fan of the Honeymooners?
not really.
Okay. Well, no, the reason I brought that up, because I'm sure you know the stories about Jackie Gleason. He was a complete asshole, and I know people that worked with him, and they said the same thing too. But the reason I bring that up was because it drove the cast crazy, because I don't want any rehearsals. I want to look genuine. I want to look fresh. I don't want to be look stayed. So he would not show up, and then he'd always come on drunk. So Audrey Meadows used to always have to pull him onto his mark and say, "No, right here." It's just like I can't imagine like working like that, and especially since he's the guy. It's his show, and there's really nothing they could do about it.
Right,
But I don't know. It's just,
right.
what was the number one, or not even, what's the best advice, I should say, that Norman Fell gave you to when you first got into acting?
Wow. I don't know. I think it was to be to be real. Like it's very important to be real, a real person and not a caricature or, an imitation of somebody else.
Well, and I
It's
love that.
about
Yeah. Well, the reason I love that is because I was thinking about this when you said that, when you have a whole monologue and you have to memorize it. Memorizing is one thing, but to make it sound natural is a
yeah,
completely different ballgame. So I mean, I could sit there and memorize all these words, but if it's going to sound like I'm just reciting words that I memorize, it's not going to be. So what's your process to? I'm guessing just by going over it and over it again, then you sort of like make it your own. Uh, what's your process with that to make it sound
yeah,
genuine?
well, um I will practice different ways of saying things to see what lands the most.
Yeah,
But mostly like I just my instinct is to just to say it the way I would say it
yeah,
and not like, I mean, this play is different because I first of all I have a deep southern accent. And and I'm also probably going to be wearing a wig, so you probably will not recognize me.
well, I will be in the audience. I will try to find you.
Try and find me. You'll recognize well, you might not. I mean, you'll recognize my voice, but you'll be like, wow, that's wow.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's see. I have my script right here.
All right.
Um, okay. So this is a monologue from the last act, or they're called chapters, the last chapter of the play. And I like I said, I have three long monologues, and this is one. I'm not gonna do all of it, I'm just gonna do a couple lines.
Okay.
Um, hey, guess you don't mind if I smoke. It was just not the right time to quit, with you dying and all. I only lasted 3 days. I failed again. But after 5 husbands, what else is new?
There for the Southern Belle. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's funny because I do a radio show, and for some reason I cannot get accents down, especially for some reason British accents, because they always want me to do he writes a character for it's called Barnaby Druthers, and they're from England, and I could just never ever get it down. I don't know why, but so usually he luckily the guy that writes the show, he usually writes characters with my personality in mind, so he's most of the time I'm just playing myself, so then it really sounds natural because it's like an exaggeration of me, but it's really me.
It's different with plays. Plays are harder to make sound more natural. Like movies are definitely, you want to be as natural as possible. Stage is a little bit different. It plays differently. You watch it differently. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Well, in plays you have to project, so I mean you're sort of like not shouting, but you have to make sure the person in the last row can hear you.
Exactly. And so that's not real natural
Yeah, well,
when you're
that's
like,
the reason. That's why I brought that up because it's like I think it's harder to be natural on stage because I've always had. They've said to me when I was in different shows, it's like when you're on stage, make it so that last person can hear you. So you're not like you're screaming, but be loud enough and also be natural. And speaking of
right,
accents,
yes.
I think the funniest thing was because, as I mentioned before, one of my favorite actresses is Kate Blanchett, and I had no idea that she was from Australia until I saw her do an interview, and I thought that was her fake accent. It's like, wait, what is she? Because she's done so many different roles. She's played, Katharine Hepburn. She's done played a Russian character. I'm trying to think of different things that I've seen her in recently, and then I saw an interview. I was like, wait a minute, what accent is this? So I think it's impressive when people like you can just go up there and say, right, be a Southern Belle for 2 hours.
So much fun. And what's even funnier is that my daughter who's 17 and I talk in British accents to each other all the time. Like we don't even speak normally to each other. It's always in a British accent.
Well, you'd be perfect for the radio show that I do.
But
What was that?
you've got to love it.
Yes. I'm not even going to try. All right. Well, I want to go back to we sort of teased this a little bit earlier, but you were on an episode of a game show. I want to say it was probably in the late 70s, early 80s, the original, the best Family Feud with Richard Dawson.
Yes,
You already, I could see you're like having PTSD just thinking about it.
I totally am. I'm like, I'm just so glad that you don't have a video of it like right here handy. I mean, that would be like you to, but um,
For all the people watching, there's a link
no,
at the bottom.
don't you dare. Oh my God. I was 15 years old on Family Feud, and it was Celebrity Family Feud. So celebrities and their real families.
Yep. And it was all right. So it was
It was
Norman Fell's family versus who?
versus what was her name? Susan Richardson family.
Yeah, for me, it's
She
enough.
was on an 80, right.
Yep. And so, for some reason, why would that show, a great American, fun family show, why would that give you PTSD?
Right now I hate you. Um
You mean only right now?
yeah. It gave me PTSD because I made us lose the first, I think it was the first game. I made us lose because I said pass, 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 and you should never pass. That's what they told us, like you should never pass. But they told us that after I kept saying pass.
Yeah.
But they passed on a answer that I knew, but I didn't think I had the right answer.
Yeah.
So I said pass, pass, and they listened to me. I don't know why
Yeah.
they listened to me, but they did. And then the faces, like you could see everybody's face. They took a shot of everybody's face after we lost and how miserable everybody was, especially me.
I was wondering, all I saw was when I watched the clip, all I saw was stepdad Norman Fell giving you that look, and then all of a sudden this went to like the white fuzz. We'll be back after the short commercial message. Like I don't know what happened after that.
It was pretty awesome.
What did they say backstage to you?
Backstage, they were like, "Why would you say that? Why would you want us to pass? Why, like really berating me for passing?"
But
And
why
I
would
was
they
like,
listen to you?
I don't know why. That's a good question, but again, the shyness and all.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why they listened to me. I was loud, I guess.
Well, from what you told me off the air, weren't you, or at least your mother was really good friends with Richard Dawson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did she know him during the Hogan's Hero days?
No,
That was before. Okay.
that was before their time. Yes.
Okay. So how did she become? Well, I'm guessing through that whole Hollywood circles. Was Norman friends with him too?
Yes.
Was he just?
Yeah. They all. What?
No, I was gonna say, did he come out and like hang out at the house and everything? Was he that good of a friend?
He did not, but Burt Reynolds did.
Really? Wait! I never heard this story. Well, I
Burt
want to talk
Reynolds
about.
came.
What was that?
Burt Reynolds came over to the house one day. I remember specifically, and he had parked his car behind mine, and I had to go somewhere, and I had to ask him to move his car, and I was just like beside myself. I'm like, I can't ask him to move his car. I'm like, Mom, please. She's like, just ask him. He's very nice. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. So I asked him, and he was very nice. He was like, of course. He made a joke,
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not moving my car for you, but if you ask nicely or something like that, I don't know. I don't remember, but he made a joke and then moved the car. And I was like, this was my story for the longest time. I made Burt Reynolds move his car.
you, you have a string of like if you're ever blacklisted from Hollywood, I can't imagine. One, you ruin Family Feud for your family and Norman Fell. Two, you make Burt Reynolds leave a party so you have to move a car because you've got important date at the mall. It's funny. So, what year was this? Was like this the height of his popularity in the 70s?
This was the height of Norman's popularity too. Yeah.
So it was like in the 70s when he was doing Cannonball Run and Smokey and the
Yeah.
Bandit.
Yeah, he was very popular.
Did
Like you, I mean, you knew.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I never had a chance to meet him, but I did meet Lonnie Anderson before. She is or was the just like Henry Winkler, one of the nicest, down to earth, funniest people I ever met. It's so funny. Like I was talking about something, and she goes, "Honey, give me your hand." And she goes, "Let's get a really good picture." And we got like good pictures. No, we gotta do better. Come on. And then I was talking to her about some different cast members. She goes, "Oh my God, he was this and this." And she's going out like saying it in a funny way, but all this gossip. She was hilarious. She's another one. I bet you she would have done this show.
Yeah, she's so sweet. She was so sweet. We met her like at Burt Reynolds Theater too, and because she would come all the time,
Oh, so she was
and
married
they
to him
were
at that
just
time?
yeah, yeah. And that was in the 80s. And he would teach classes for us, and he was just such a generous, loving man. He was so nice.
Yeah, and he was a people don't give him the credit, but he was like such a great actor too. I mean, Deliverance was great. I mean, he could do comedy, but could also do drama. And you could tell it's like I think he's a perfect example of what Norman said before. Just be yourself. You could just tell, like with those all the jokes and everything. It's just like he has like gives that look at the camera. And everything. Just you can tell he's just like being himself for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
I interviewed Adrienne Barbeau, and I guess like she was kind of angry because that was like one of her first movies, and she said she took that Cannonball Run way too seriously, and she just said they like he and Dom DeLuise and everybody's just joking around. She's like, "Are we filming a movie here?" And she goes, "I don't know why I was so uptight back then. It was one of my first movies," and she goes, "I didn't really know what to expect, but." She goes, "I really don't like to
Yeah.
talk about that movie at all." I said, "Okay, no problem."
Just like you have a movie you don't like to talk about.
Oh, yeah. The one that I can't remember the name.
Wanderers.
Yeah, it's called, and I have to say, um, Matt Ray has nothing to do with you, but I thought for me, I thought that was like one of the best things I ever did. I mean, we did that. If they could show the unedited version of what we did, it was a zombie 48-hour film fest, and it was when I saw it. I think you could see a glimpse of me or my shadow in the background. There's like nothing of me in it at all. We sat there putting on zombie makeup for maybe like 3 hours. We started at like say 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get home till after 10 at night. And wait, what was that? I think was that Rich? I don't know. I can't tell.
Rich, it's the back of his head, but I'm not sure.
That was like the perfect role for me because as people who don't know, I have cerebral palsy. I have a limp and I have the hand. It's like I walk like a zombie naturally. So this is the part I was born to play.
Yeah. And they cut you.
Oh my God. There's, so you were good in it, but and as you can tell, I'm very happy for you. No hard feelings there.
Yeah, I had a good time. That one.
Yeah. Well, no, I have to say I did have a great time. That's why I was so mad because I couldn't wait to see it. And then when I saw it, I said, "Ugh, where is? Not where is it? Where am I?"
I, I'm on
So,
the cutting room floor.
yeah. Oh man, that's why you hear sometimes like these actors. They're like, "I was," they get so mad, and I'm like, "Why would you get mad? You got the chance to be in the movie, and then now I feel their pain. I know what you're talking about." Uh, so you mentioned Burt Reynolds and where was it? You said Burt Reynolds here. You acted there?
I was an apprentice for a year, and yes, I acted. We were understudies for the big shows that would come in.
Yep.
So like Wrestlers was a show that came in with Judd Nelson, Sarah Jessica Parker, and another guy that I can't remember his name. I was the understudy for Sarah Jessica Parker.
I could see that.
Um,
Yeah, I could definitely see
yeah,
that.
that was fun. That was really fun. And then we got to do an apprentice version of that show too. So that was great. So yeah, I got to act a lot. We were understudies, we did our own shows, we did acting classes where we did scenes. So we were doing lots and lots of acting.
Who was out of all the ones from that era? Out of all the actors that you either met or worked with, who was your favorite?
Sarah.
Really, she seemed. I mean, I don't. I'm trying to say, like in interviews and things like that. It seems like she would. Because what was that show she was on? Not Sex and the City. The one before she was like a nerd. I can't remember. She was like a
It was when she was younger, right?
yeah. Like and she was really Square Pegs was the show.
Very
Yeah.
perfect.
But I'm saying, I remember like even
Yeah,
back then, and I always liked the stuff that she was in. So I'm glad. I always like hearing stories like that. Like, oh yeah, she was a cool person. She was like appreciative. And
she was great. She helped like when I did the Apprentice version of her show, she totally helped me with the character work and stuff. It was great. It was
yeah,
just like, I mean, it was a dream come true, really.
yeah. No, I'm glad to hear that. Now, I mean, I don't want you to badmouth anybody. Well, actually, I really do. But I mean, I don't want. I mean, was there anybody that you worked with that you would never ever want to work with again, or even like be in the same room with? Did you ever have like any bad experiences where somebody was like they were so full of themselves, they're the only ones that could fit in the room? Okay.
There were a few of them. There was one from what's the name of the show? Um, Little Shop of Horrors.
The movie?
And I the no, it was a play. The musical.
No, no. So there was a movie. I think Bill Murray was in the movie. I think.
Yeah, but
Okay.
this was the play
Oh,
version of
okay.
one of the there's like these three little women who sing. They're the chorus, but they sing all over in different places of the show.
Yeah.
And I was understudy for one of them, and she was awful.
Yeah.
Which is just absolutely awful to me.
Yeah.
Like, go get me this, go get me that. I only want this in my room. You know, I mean, you hear those stories, but they are really true.
Yeah. I had a friend that worked on a play with Faye Dunaway, and they fired her because she was so horrible. She actually slapped one of the actors across the face, and the director said, "I don't really give a shit who you are. You're not in this play anymore.
Right.
Goodbye." And he kicked her off because she thought she was like, "I'm the star. Nobody, you can't do anything to me." And they're like, "Yeah, goodbye." He said she was horrible to work with, and I'm not sure if you heard the stories when she was making Chinatown with Roman Polanski. I guess like he was really strict and he goes, "No, you can't go to the bathroom." So she took a bottle of piss and threw it at him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, people are crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, I can't understand why. I mean, I can't understand why anybody would be like that, especially in a business where it's all about, like as we mentioned before, it's like making connections. It's like, why would you burn any bridges? You're not, nobody's going to want to work with you anymore. And why? First of all, why you have to be an asshole anyway? It's like, just go in there, do your
Like
job.
what I mean, you can get the same things accomplished by being nice
Yeah.
as you can by being a total jerk.
hmm Which is funny because I watched the Chevy Chase documentary, and that is the only documentary I watched where I hated the guy even more after watching it. That's how bad it was. Normally, you see a documentary like, oh, well, you know, I see his or her side of the story. You know what? Maybe it was misconstrued or they're misunderstood. No, he's just a complete piece of shit. There's like no, and every person that ever worked with him said the same thing too. Even, do you know who Kevin Smith is? He
No.
he did Clerks, Mallrats. You probably heard of the movies, but he said he was my idol growing up, and he's younger. He's like my age. So he's like I grew up watching the vacation movies, Fletch, and he goes, and then I met him, and I sort of and then I said, all right, every story that I've ever heard is probably true. It's it's like what again? Why do you even have to be like that? It's like just and I don't know. I I think you and I have very similar mentality. It's like if I ever made it to that, I'd be so appreciative and be like, let's just have some fun. Let's make a good show or let's make a good movie.
I hmm
So
Like I bring candy to rehearsals,
what do you
like
do?
so everybody. I do
Bring what?
candy into
Oh,
rehearsals, like a big like let's just make this fun, you know?
I know. And I've worked with you several times, and you had that mentality when I worked with you too. Like the first time for Publicist League, I'm like, I like her. She's fun. And we just had like all these different scenes, and it was just, and then the day flew by.
Uh, that was very fun.
Yep. So for
So
you, Sorted Lives is going to be March 13th through 22nd. Do you have anything else coming up? Did you do any other auditions? Do you have any plays coming up in the summer or movies?
no, Oh, nothing. Plays come up as they come up.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah. So no, just sorted lives for now, which is enough. And then we'll see what happens after that.
Right. And if somebody came up to you right now and said, Lisa, I really want to get into acting, what advice do you have for me? What would you say?
Fun.
Fun. See, it's what it's all about.
Run. No, I said run.
Oh, I think you said fun. Sorry. There was. Do you think it's do you think it's harder to
It's
get
a
into, what was that?
it's a tough business.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. That's why
So
it's like
it's really, yeah, it's really cutthroat and it's like you have to be you really have to be lucky. It doesn't even matter how talented you are, because you could be the most talented person on the block. If you don't know people,
hmm
you're kind of screwed.
Yep. Well, I can give you a perfect example of that. There's this actor I interviewed. His name is PJ Byrne. You're not going to recognize the name, but he's been in like probably like 60 or 70 movies, and he's done like I mean, perfect example. He was like he had a major he was a major character in The Wolf of Wall Street. He was in a couple TV series. Right now he's in it's a John Grisham TV series that's on right now. I can't remember what it's called, but I watched a couple. In the movie it was played by Dane DeVito. He plays that character. But the reason I bring him up was that when he did the movie Wolf of Wall Street, he said that Martin Scorsese loved him. So anytime Martin Scorsese has a project, he doesn't have a big role, but he puts him in all his movies. He goes, I just like Martin Scorsese told me, he goes, I just like you. I love you. Have a great attitude. You're so easy to get along with. You're fun. He goes, so he had a couple other TV shows. I think it was on HBO. He was on there until that ended, and he has like whatever movie he had last. But it's you're right. Just if you get to make those connections like that, you'll keep working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to be positive and humble.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, before we go, is there anything that I did not talk about that you want to mention?
No, you pretty much covered it all.
I tried to get it all in there. I even found out a couple new things before. I didn't realize you were best friends with Hooper. I'm Burt Reynolds.
Yeah. Not me, best friends, but Norman was.
I know. Also, Norman actually was really good friends with. I know that he was at the party, but like, he,
No,
what
they were really good friends.
what did he play in with Burt? What movie?
Oh God, I don't know. I
Okay,
can't
I'm trying.
think of it.
I know. It's funny because I have seen older movies of his, like a couple of the ones you mentioned, but then I said he's another one of those faces like, oh yeah, well, I didn't realize he was in this movie. You know, as you're watching older movies, like 'cause I was probably 10 years old when he was on Three's Company, so that's my first introduction to him. Then when you go back and see these movies, like, oh wow, he did a lot.
He did do a lot.
Did
Did
he
a lot when he was young and throughout his whole life.
did he prefer comedy to drama or vice versa?
But he, didn't shy away from drama at all. He was very good at it too.
Yeah. So for him, because you saw his process, like we'll just go with Three's Companies. We were talking about that before. So how long would it take him to actually have the? I know he only has a week to get everything down. Like would it take him like a 2, 3 days to actually have the whole thing memorized?
Um, yeah, I don't even really remember what his process was, because he was like in a different room
Yeah,
most of the time.
yeah,
So I don't even know what it was. And he was, he spent most of the days on the set.
yeah.
So they go through it and then he would go through it at night. But yeah.
So that's actually impressive for the writers too, because so they wouldn't have like 3 or 4 scripts ready at a time. They would do one script. All right, that week's over. Let's forget another. So they would write the script right after the other one was, or would he have multiple scripts to learn?
They didn't give them multiple scripts to learn, but they had many scripts
Oh,
like
okay.
ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he ever do any soap operas?
No.
Right. The reason I asked that is because one, I mentioned Max Gale before, and I also interviewed somebody else, and both of them said the hardest thing they ever did was soap operas because it is just nonstop. It's like there's no, as I mentioned before, movies, hurry up and wait. You're like boom, boom, boom. You got to keep going.
Yeah. And you got to memorize lines every single day for a new episode.
Yeah. And
So
he also, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say, and they also said you have to memorize the lines, and then right when you're about to film it, they're like, you know what? Forget that line. We're going to do something else.
Right. Yeah. Change that line into this line
Yeah.
or yeah. But that sounds fun to me. I mean, doesn't it sound fun to you?
It really does, yeah. I think I would definitely be up for that challenge, and I would definitely, like as you mentioned before, just have fun with it and run.
Laugh.
So we already know what's next. Sorted Live starts March 13th or 22nd in New Britain, Connecticut. You got to check it out. I know I'm going to be there front row, so that seat's already taken. If anybody wants that, you're out of luck. Where can people find you?
Find me.
If they want to find out more about what shows you're going to be doing and where you're going to be, like do you have a website or a Facebook page,
Don't.
Instagram?
I do have a Facebook page and it's Lisa Weingard Bynes. Weingard is spelled Eingard.
Okay.
Bynes, B-Y. Everything that I'm doing on my Facebook page.
All right. Well, Lisa Weingard Bynes, it was so great to have you in the show. You have carte
Thank
blanche.
you,
You can
Rich.
come back anytime. I had so much fun interviewing you. I have so much fun acting with you, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting together with you again very soon.
Me too. Thanks, Rich.
You're very welcome. That wraps up the latest episode of the Claus Corner. A huge thanks goes out to actress Lisa Weingard Bynes. Whoa. Lisa Weingard Bynes for taking time out of her extremely busy schedule to be a guest on my show. Thank you very much, Lisa Weingard Bynes. I also need to thank editor extraordinaire John Bristol, the award-winning Elmwood Productions, for always doing a superb job editing the show each and every week and making it available to all on YouTube. I am also extremely grateful to Rob Bull and Dale Coles for all they do to make my show available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, as well as a cable station in Waterbury, Connecticut. And lastly, but definitely not least, I need to thank you, the viewer, for always tuning in. Enjoy your day, everyone.